NBA superstar Steph Curry are among a group of celebrities now being investigated in connection to the cryptocurrency exchange that filed for bankruptcy less than 2 weeks ago. The Texas State Securities Board probing whether the long list of celebrities broke the law as they received payments for promoting FTX. The news comes a week after one investor filed a class action lawsuit against the company, its former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried, and a slew of high-profile names. For more on this, we're joined by federal defense attorney Ronald Chapman. Thanks for being with us. I know that investigators are going to be looking to try to prove that Tom Brady, Steph Curry, and others broke the law, but what do they have to exactly find just because they promoted this brand?
Well, there's a couple of avenues here. First, there's something called the anti-touting rule, which says that you can't tout a security, which in this context, cryptocurrency is considered a security, without disclosing the nature of the compensation. The next rule is the marketing rule, which has very similar provisions. Interestingly, this is the same rule that Kim Kardashian was caught up in and fined $1.26 million. As a result, if they find out that these celebrities broke the rule by failing to disclose the compensation that they received for cryptocurrency advertisements, they could be facing massive fines and liability, not only in Texas, but also by the federal SEC.
But wasn't Kim Kardashian fined because she didn't disclose that it was a paid endorsement on her social media? It wasn't so much that she was endorsing it, it was that she didn't put that in the caption on her posts, correct?
Exactly. But there could also be liability for these individuals, Tom Brady and others, for false statements, knowingly false statements made during the promotion of the cryptocurrency. I believe there's been some allegations that Tom Brady may have potentially known of the downfall of FTX even while these statements were being made. I think that there are similar allegations related to Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, as well.
Okay, and what about in terms of the fines or the charges that they would face? I mean, are we looking at these multi-million-dollar settlements?
Certainly we could be. I believe Kim Kardashian made $250,000 from her endorsement, but she was fined over $1 million for that. We really have three buckets of liability here. We have administrative liability, civil, which can result in significant fines, and then we also could have criminal liability. Now, I don't know if Tom Brady and these celebrities would be considered criminally liable, but Texas and the federal government do have the ability to pursue false and misleading statements made by promoters of securities where they knew that those statements were false.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything about FTX or crypto that might make it difficult for investigators to get to the bottom of all of this?
Well, certainly. I mean, this is an Enron level event here. We have a massive collapse. We have a bankruptcy. We have multiple departments and agencies looking into this. We've got a significant amount of investigators peeling through their records. I think the real question is, who is going to be the first entity to move forward with allegations, charges, or fines, and who's going to have to sit and wait? If the federal government and the SEC decides to take up this case, I imagine Texas and potentially other states, including Florida, may have to take a backseat to these sorts of investigations. Interestingly, Texas did file a notice in the bankruptcy of FTX and intends to litigate some of their issues in that bankruptcy proceeding. But
interesting, you mentioned Enron. Is it because of the mass amount of wealth that was lost, or is it because of the details, the behind-the-scenes motives of those people who were involved in this particular business?
I would say certainly both. I believe Enron was one of the largest companies in the United States at the time. I don't know that we're there, but what we do have are significant false statements made by some people involved in FTX. We have massive amounts of money that was being poured in by individual investors, and we have a significant loss by the public amounting to billions of dollars.
Ronald Chapman, thank you. You're the first to say any comparison to any other company, and that's helpful in putting this all in perspective. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you do not mention Enron lightly.
No.
John Ray is now in charge of FTX. He was put in charge after Sam Bankman-Fried stepped down. John Ray went through the Enron bankruptcy.
Wow.
He also said, "This is the worst. Never in my career have I seen such a complete failure of corporate controls." And that's the guy that had to clean up the Enron mess.
Yeah, so maybe it's worse than Enron.
It's worse than Enron.
And that's saying something, especially for those who were around at that time.